Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, it's Ingrid. I am the founder, owner, creator of Passport and Wine Bottles. I'm jumping on a little early today, although I haven't figured out what time of day is best for these lives. So I'm just doing them as the mood hits me. I'll just do them whatever time of day it is, as long as I get it in within the day. Because this is day 11 of my challenge to go live 31 days in March. So, day 11 in the books. But anyway, today, actually, yesterday I said that I was actually going to give you guys a little more insight into me and some of the things I like and just so you can get to know me a little better. And I know I talk about travel a lot. But the other part of my business is wine. So a little bit about me and my wine journey. Just like most people in their college years, you start out with the Boone's Farm. Yes, I did. Um, and I at that time, and after that, I thought, oh, everything should taste like Boone's Farm. That's wine, so that's it. But then I actually went to my first wine tasting. I don't even know how many years ago, maybe 10, 11 years ago. And I was like disappointed because there was no Boone's Farm. Oh, and at that time I was a cocktail drinker. But then, cocktails, you never know. It depends on the bartender and whether or not they are making it appropriately. So every cocktail can be different if you're not making it yourself. So when I went to my first wine tasting, I was really overwhelmed. I didn't know. I mean, I was curious, but I was overwhelmed because it was so much, and everybody there was talking like so above me about tannins and the nose, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm just drinking, which you're not supposed to do that at a tasting. You're supposed to taste. So and then I knew I only wanted white wine and it had to be sweet. So those are the only ones I was drinking at that particular tasting. So it wasn't the best introduction, but I did go out there and I did go to that tasting. So because my curiosity was so heightened after that, I said, let me spend some time and try to find something a little more appropriate for me to learn about wine and wine tasting and etiquette and all the other stuff. So I ended up finding an organization that's no longer in existence now, but at the time, the African American Wine Tasting Society Incorporated, and they had a chapter here in Atlanta. I think there was one in Indianapolis, and if I'm not mistaken, there at the at that time there was one in D.C. and in New York, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, at the very end, when the doors shut down, it was Indianapolis and Atlanta, the last two chapters. So I joined that group and it blew me away. I learned so much. It was comfortable. I felt comfortable asking questions. And that's what I always tell people: when you are drinking wine and you can't ask questions to whoever is pouring the wine or the presenter or whatever, then yeah, that's probably not the ideal situation. You should be able to ask any types of questions, and there's no wrong question or bad question. But anyway, I was a member of the African American Wine Tasting Society for, wow, I guess 10 years, right about 10 years. And while I was in the organization, I served as a secretary and I was also president of the Atlanta chapter. So I was kind of just totally immersed in it and wine, all things wine, and it drove a passion in me. So um, I learned so much, and the crazy thing was my palate actually changed a lot. Because I started off drinking the really, 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 really sweet wines, And then I ended up graduating to, some more dry red wines, which I never ever at that time thought I would ever drink because I just thought they were disgusting. Um, and so now, because of that, and all that knowledge that I did achieve, and all the people that I met, and the my ability to go and talk to sommeliers or bartenders or whatever about particular wines, and go into a wine store and choose a wine that goes with certain meals or certain palates or what have you. It's really become, I mean, like it's, I don't want to say an obsession, but an obsession. I call myself a self-proclaimed wino because I'm the one who goes to happy hour, even when they're having happy hour specials, and I'll order a glass of wine. And I used to get, teased a lot because they're like, "That's not even on the special." I'm like, yeah, well, I know what's in my wine glass. I don't know what's in that special. Anyway, but that's kind of how my wine journey took place over the past 10 years. Um, and as far as incorporated into travel, I've been to several different countries, and probably everywhere I go, I try my best to find a local wine or winery, or, you know, if there's not wine that's local to that particular country or region, I typically bring my own. I travel with wine. And it's funny, my family, when I go, to visit for the holidays or whatever, they always know, oh, Ingrid has wine in her luggage, and I usually do. But so I'm a little obsessed with it. But I just find it fascinating, to know that all wine is really, well, not all wine, but most wine is made of simple grapes, and that there are so many different types of grapes out there. So it's fascinating to me, and I keep a bottle of wine. A bottle of wine is always on my grocery list, and even if it's not, I get a bottle. And I can spend. I hate going to the grocery store, but I always go down the wine aisle. Always, 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 always. I don't think I've ever missed that. Sometimes I'll skip everything else and just go down the wine aisle instead of buying groceries. But don't tell anybody. Anyway, so that's a little bit about me and my wine journey, my wine habit, and where that passion comes from. So if you have any questions or anything about wine, I'm not certified or anything like that in wine. I just enjoy it. It's really truly just a homegrown passion. So I'm not taking any tests to become certified or anything like that. It's just a genuine love for wine. But I'm fascinated by it, so I do my research, and I ask my questions. So if you have any questions or anything about wine related, or what goes with what, I'll do my best to answer it. Not saying I know all the answers, but I will definitely try to find an answer for you. So with that, I hope you are able to enjoy a nice glass of wine sometime today. If you're working right now, maybe later today after work. And try it. When you go to happy hour, order a glass of wine instead of a cocktail. But anyway, have a good one, guys. And thanks for checking in and helping me check off day number 11. I'll see you tomorrow.